343 Industries is now officially known as Halo Studios, and in a previous video I talked about how it's odd that they showcased a lot of leadership that seemed to be women that didn't really have much of a history of playing games, and diving deeper into them it seemed like they are more activists than actual gamers. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Smash JT. I wanted to follow up on that video because there's a lot more information I discovered after recording and publishing that completely blew my mind, that blows this whole thing wide open. Hit that subscribe, give me a like, and check out SmashJT.com for the full article breaking down Microsoft, a bridge too far. And those of you that have been surfing the World Wide Web for a little bit might be familiar with Kirsch and her investigations into this whole bridge thing. And, you know, I kind of brushed it away at first, like, yeah, I'm sure there's something to that, but I think Microsoft is genuine in trying to get rid of their DEI department because they found out that it is completely useless and losing them money and not worth pursuing. And boy, was that high hopes, because no, of course Microsoft was doubling down. Kirsch is right, and they are full on embracing the Bridge program. For those of you who aren't familiar, Bridge is an institutional survey designed to assess the state of DEI across various sectors globally. It stands for belonging, representation, inclusion, diversity, and equity. Which doesn't spell G, but don't worry, the G that's missing is supposed to be symbolizing the gap in between them. And if that's not the cheesiest thing you ever heard, listen to the CEO of the Bridge program.
Bridge is an acronym for belonging, representation, inclusion, diversity. The G is the gap in all of those things, and then the E is equity. And our mission is really about moving the narrative of DE&I away from philosophy to operationalizing inclusion as a business practice.
Cheryl Daja, the CEO, said they are trying to change the narrative of DEI from a philosophy, but hasn't gotten them where they need to go. So they need to figure out how to operationalize inclusion as a business practice. Which, yeah, sure as hell sounds like someone trying to justify a job that doesn't need to exist to get a paycheck and push ESG checkboxes on companies like Microsoft so that they can make the investors over at BlackRock and Vanguard happy with what they're doing. But here's where it gets a little bit tricky. After years of collecting DEI data, Bridge has evolved into a 2.0 initiative as detailed on their website, wearebridge.com. Their transformation wasn't just about rebranding, it was about attempting to normalize DEI as an integral part of how businesses function. DEI is no longer a separate entity or department, it's being deeply woven into the fabric of every decision, especially hiring practices. And this is what brings us back to the entire Halo Studios situation with Melissa Boone and how everybody's losing their collective minds over anyone daring to talk about this because she happens to be a woman, she happens to be black, and she happens to be extremely gay. But looking into her LinkedIn profile, she doesn't have any history in working on actual video games. Sure, she's been at Microsoft for a while and has some serious extreme personal biases that she happily shows off in her profile, but none of this has anything to do with video games. It's all about identity, specifically sexual identity, and how she identifies and the people she likes to be around and why it's important and pushing that on other people. Which again, as I always say, what you do when you close the door, literally don't care, but don't bring it to your LinkedIn profile and push it everywhere at work, which apparently Microsoft wants everyone to know exactly what you do when you close the door. It's very strange, but yeah, sure, let's normalize that. It's a clear indication that Bridge is being utilized at Microsoft. Hiring decisions are being made not based on who can push the game industry forward best or who has the most talent, passion, and experience for creating groundbreaking experiences from being in the best positions, but rather to fulfill ESG scores. There is no passion behind these people when it comes to creating great gaming experiences. Nothing that will break boundaries in the gaming world. Nothing that is going to blow doors and say, whoa, I gotta play this latest game because these people poured their heart and soul into making the best experience possible. It's not racism or sexism or any kind of ism that the DEI proponents keep trying to pin on us critics. It's reality. And it's tragic because it's almost like it stifles the conversation where you're not even allowed to talk about it because you are a homophobe, a racist, a horrible bigot, the worst person in the world because you dare question the actual resume from these people. Marble Gallery said, the bigger issue I have with all this is, what qualifies this person to work on this game? What games has this person helped ship that were so successful that they deserve this level of opportunity and can assure the same success? If you can't answer that, oof, watch out. To add to that, it should always and only ever be the best qualified person for the job. Nothing about this person's bio indicates to me that they have a history of success with this role. That screams all levels of warning to me. Not that Microsoft gives a damn about that because they're busy pushing their bridge DEI agenda where you don't even know that it's a DEI department. Instead, they put someone with innate bias in a position to hire people, meaning that if you're bringing your true authentic self to work, you better align with what they expect. And when I say be your authentic self, it kind of harkens back to the video that Halo Studios posted from Casey Wu, where she said, I was told I could be my authentic self.
I was told that I can just be my authentic self, Chris.
I want this to be the biggest takeaway from the video here. You are not allowed to be your authentic self at work. You never have been. You have to conform to the ideals and ideologies of the people hiring you. They do not want diversity of thought. They want diversity of literally anyone but a straight white male. And that's really what it comes down to. Because as long as you identify or look a certain way, then you will be included in this group. If you are your authentic self and you don't fit that category, then unfortunately, you're not allowed in. DEI has gone off the rails, out of control. So much so that I was talking to a buddy and he sent me the following message and said, I'm okay to share this with everyone. And I want you to listen to an experience they had when they worked at Facebook.
So I just got done watching Smash JT's video from that Halo. And yeah, I saw that Halo video where they introduced like the new team of the 343 changed their name to Halo Studios. And when that Asian lady was like, "Oh, I'm just being my authentic self," it literally reminded me of when I worked at Facebook. They told us that over and over again when like first couple days, they're like, "Oh, just be your authentic self." So I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna be my authentic self." And then a couple days later, I was pulled into a room. They said they didn't like the way I was acting, because I was like making fun of LGBT, and I was like, "But I'm just being my authentic self." So it's in other words, when they say I'm being my authentic self, it's code for if you're a flaming gay, feel free to be as flamboyant as possible. But if you're a based red pill white male, you gotta shut the fuck up.
So when a company like Microsoft tells you to bring your authentic self to work or be who you are and let's celebrate our differences, it's not. It just isn't. That's a straight up lie. Unless you fit the agenda of what they're allowing. And by hiring someone like Melissa Boone in charge of hiring other people at the company, you watch the type of people, the personalities that get brought in there are going to fall in line with her biases. And she doesn't even know it. That's the thing. They're the puppet masters up top, putting her in this position to fail, to bring in the people with the biases that she has. And she's thinking, oh, I'm just this person that magically got this job. I can just bring people in and hire them. When what it's doing is propagating exactly what Microsoft's Bridge DEI program is trying to do. Create a diverse environment by bringing in the people with the same group think. The same people that have these agendas, these biases, the same problematic people that do not care about video games. At the end of the day, it's a video game company. It's not a let's celebrate the rainbow and diversity and how many colors we can bring into work and what people look like and how many nose ring piercings they have. That has literally nothing to do with the game. This isn't a phase that's gonna pass either. Bridge is here, and it's here to stay. It's the new face of corporate DEI initiatives, designed to be harder to spot, far more integrated in the business ecosystem, and nearly impossible to push back against. You notice, by the way, many people, especially on Twitter, are already coming at me trying to paint me as this horrible bigot bad guy for just pointing out what they're doing, because you're not allowed to say the quiet part out loud. You're not allowed to talk about this kind of stuff because it's off limits. You're the bad guy if you dare say that Microsoft is integrating their DEI program into their company. And they're not having a DEI group anymore. They don't have a DEI department. They literally just hire someone that is a straight up DEI hire that is going to bring in additional people that fall in line with their ideologies. And it's perfect. It hides all the DEI. It's exactly what Microsoft and all these companies are trying to do. It's not even a conspiracy theory anymore. It's right out in the open. I don't even need a tinfoil hat to do this. You can look at it yourself and see exactly what's transpiring. And this right here is exactly why Halo is going to fail in the future. And they'll have no one to blame but themselves. You can mark this video, come back to it in the future and be like, oh man, wow. So that's what went wrong with Halo Studios. They had all the DEI hires. We got mad at that Smash JT guy, and we probably shouldn't have, because he was calling it from Jump Street exactly what's wrong with all of this. Anyways, I'm going to leave it there. There's a whole lot more information that I found out about this. I might make even another video diving into even more stuff with the other people at the company, the other females that they hired that are in COO positions and stuff like that literally don't give a damn about the video games. They're there for activism. This is a problem in the game industry. So many insidious people pushing their agendas instead of caring about the games. They've found video games to be a great way to push agendas using entertainment to sneak in exactly what they want to get through to people. And it's not even a conspiracy at this point. But again, anyways, I'm going to leave it there. Check out smashjt.com for the full article. I'll link this in the description below. If you appreciate what I'm doing, hit that join button. Thank you so much for watching. Shout out to Kirsch, by the way. I know there's a lot of people that have been going to her for this bridge stuff. She was on point with it from Jump Street, and I was a little bit hesitant to full on embrace the theories that she had until now. She was spot on. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, you stay smashing.
Microsoft is exactly doing what Zoom is doing. They are not getting rid of DEI. They are getting rid of the visible teams and titles attached to DEI, because the next step in the program is to make it everyone at the company's job. You don't need a DEI team if everyone in your company is responsible for pushing the tenets of DE&I.
We all have heard and seen that DEI is under attack. So Charlene, with your purview, what would you advise our audience here today as a response to what they're hearing within their own corporate walls?
Unfortunately, our community has a legacy of dealing with attack. So whatever you need to call it, do the work. Period. This work informs your strategies. This work makes your team stronger. This work informs where the next big thing will come from, how you stay current, and how you can stay a leading edge brand or content provider. So if the acronym bothers you, change the acronym.
And our mission is really about moving the narrative of DE&I away from philosophy to operationalizing inclusion as a business practice.